Real life. There was a reader in Chang'an named Jia Zilong, who happened to pass by a nearby alley one day and saw an outsider with a chic style. Jia asked him and learned that his surname was True. He was a Chengyang and lived in the Chang'an Li's house. Jia admired him in his heart. The next day, Jia Zilong dropped off his business card at Zhensheng's residence, just in time for Zhensheng's absence. I visited him 3 times before and after. I didn't meet him. Jia Sheng secretly sent people to watch him at home and then went to visit him. Zhensheng dodged and refused to come out. Jia Sheng went in and searched for him before he came out. The 2 men are very happy because they are close to each other and they both feel that it is too late to meet each other. Jason sent a little boy to drink at Mackie's place. Real, good at drinking, good at making funny jokes. They're very happy. The wine is almost gone. I literally turned over my own box, took out a drinking utensil. And it was a large white jade cup, but without a bottom, poured a small glass of wine into it, and it was full. Pouring a small cup of wine into the pot, the large jade cup was not less wine. Jia felt magical and insisted that the real student teach the magic. Why wouldn't I want to see you? You have no other weakness, just greed. How can this be taught to you? Jia Sheng said. What a wrongful death. Where am I greedy? Occasionally have some hope. Just because of poverty. Laugh and the 2 will be apart. From there, the 2 men met each other intimately. When Jia is poor and short of money, Jin takes out a piece of black rock, blows his breath, reads a spell, and uses it to grind the rubble, which immediately turns into silver. So I give it to Jia Sheng. Every time Jia Sheng only enough, there is no surplus. Every time Jia asks for more money, Jin says, I say you're greedy. How about that? How about that? Jia thought that he was going to steal Blackstone and blackmail him when he slept after getting really drunk because he couldn't get the request. One day, after the 2 men had gone to bed after drinking, Jia sneaked up and searched the real clothes. And I realized, you have no conscience. You can't be with you anymore, so I quit Jia Sheng and moved to another place. More than a year later, Jia Sheng was on a river ride and saw a stone gleaming, much like the real one. Jason picks it up and hides it like a baby. After a few days, I came out of nowhere. I was in a trance. Mr. Jia comforted him and asked why. Mako said, the stone you saw before is a fairy stone. I used to travel with Mako. He liked my character. He gave me this stone. I lost it when I was drunk. You should be here, and if you've given me back my gratitude, I won't forget to repay you. Jia laughs. I never dared lie to my friends in my life, and I do have stones like yours. But there's nothing poorer than Uncle Bao to know about Guanzhong. What are you going to do about it? I promised him 100 taels of silver. Jia Sheng said, there are a lot of silver coins, but please pass on the tips to me. If I try them myself, there will be no regrets. I'm afraid I don't believe him. Jia Sheng said, you are a cactus. Why don't you know Jia? Am I a dishonest friend? Real life teaches Jason the secret. Mr. Jia looked back and saw a monolith on the steps and had to try it on the top. Mako grabbed his arm so he wouldn't go up there and grind. Mr. Jia bent over to pick up half a brick and put it on a rock anvil and said, it's like this big, isn't it? I'll let him try. Jason's face really changed when he didn't grind the half brick and grind the stone anvil, which has turned into a whole piece of gold. Jason, give the stone back to Mako. That's it. What can I say? But if I give Fluck to anyone else, I will be punished by God. If you want to save my sins, you must do good deeds by offering 100 coffins and 100 cotton garments. Will you do that? I didn't want to get the gold for the sake of storing it, Mr. Jia said. Do you still think of me as a money slave? I left with delight. Mr. Jia received the gold and gave it while doing business. Less than 3 years later, enough was enough. Suddenly, holding Jia Sheng's hand, he said, you are a man of faith and righteousness. After we separated, Fu Shen reported to the Emperor Jade and stripped my cactus. And now thanks to you for your generous handouts, you offset your sins with meritorious deeds. I hope you'll motivate yourself and don't stop doing good. I am a professional fox, Jia asked. and I can't bear the burden of sin. So I love myself, and I don't dare do anything at all. Zhensheng put on a banquet, and Zhensheng drank with him as before. Jia lived into his 90s, and Huxian often visited his home. A man from Changshan County, selling a drug that can relieve the poison of the arsenic. Even for a patient in critical condition, his medication is not incurable. However, his prescriptions are kept secret, even from relatives or friends. One day, he was arrested on a case. His brother-in-law delivered food to him in prison, and secretly put the stone in the meal. Stay with him until he's finished eating. The man was agitated and shocked. Animal, go, he said. I'm afraid we're delayed to find the powder. Find by Liaozhai in the city. Have a glass of water and bring it. His brother-in-law did what he said. By the time he gets it back, he'll be dying of vomiting and diarrhea. Put some medicine in him, and he'll be all right. The prescription has since been introduced. It's also like the fox mysterious stone is passed down from man to man.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.